Hi, myself Dr. Avinash Trivedi, Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, GIMS, Greater Noida. Today we are going to discuss one topic, Applet. These are some topics on which we will discuss. So, types of Java application. Using Java, we can develop standalone applications, simple Java application, as well as web application that is containing applets and JSP sublet. So JSP sublet is part of advanced Java. So in this discussion, we will talk about applet. In simple Java application, we can run that system on our own machine in network. But when we talk about Java applet, then that is actually web application that installed at the remote location and we can run from any other place. And Java applets can be compiled like Java class file, run within web browser or using Applet viewer, loaded from anywhere on the internet. So applets are small Java programs that are embedded in web pages to generate the dynamic content. See in what happens when we want to access any application from remote location, then we develop applet and we install that applet at server, and using applet viewer or web browser we can access that application from any computer. An applet is a Java class that extends the java.applet dot capital applet class. A main method is not invoked on an applet, and an applet class will not define main method. So in Java, we use main method. With that, we start our program. But when we develop any application using applet, that applet does not contain any main method. So that can be accessed or run by any other machine. In that, we do not require main method. A JVM is required to view an applet. The JVM can be either a plugin or of the web browser or a separate runtime environment. The JVM on the user's machine creates an instance of the applet class and invokes a various method during the applet lifetime. And as we know, applet is executable in sandbox, so it is secure also. It comes from web server to client machine, and at client machine your applet get executed, and it is not allowed to access any other memory location apart from the sandbox area. So what is superclass in applet? Java.applet.applet is superclass, and we can use AWT classes as well as swing classes to develop applet application. No main method is here, and paint method is used, and applets means class file is embedded in HTML. So three basic codes means tags are required to run any applet, that is code, width and height. So in picture if we see that there is applet development. Here you write hello.java Java code, and that Java code get compiled, and that is embedded in HTML and kept at the server. So after hello.java compilation, we get hello.class file, and that class file is embedded with HTML and kept at web server. and we create applet tag in HTML document, and client machine accesses the applet from any remote location, and browser create a new window and a new thread and then run the code. And when client machine requests through web browser, then applet from the web server comes to client machine, and there, in presence of JVM, it executes the applet. So to understand life cycle of applet, we need to know some topics like an applet undergoes various stages between its creation of object and object removal as the work of applet will get done. So as we start our applet, then its init method gets executed, and after the execution of applet, it finishes and it terminates. So in the life cycle of applet, there are five methods: init method, start method, paint method, stop method, and destroy method. In init method, we initiate applet execution, and once start method get executed, now your applet is ready to serve, and paint method is used to show something on the screen or window. And when we call stop method, then it stops the applet, and destroy method destroys the object which was created. So applet is visible at the client machine only because of the web browser. Web browser take care of all the activities. So once we request for applet, then applet comes from server machine and reaches to client machine. And for the smooth execution, it should call the callback method at appropriate times. It is responsible to maintain the applet life cycle. It should have capability to communicate between applets, applet to JavaScript and HTML, applet to browser, etc. So how this thing happen? When we begin, then init method get called, and born means applet get created, and then it calls the start method, and once start method get executed, then applet starts working, and now paint method gives you output, and you can or browser can stop the applet, and it goes to idle state, and from idle state it can again get converted into running state, or from idle state it can go to dead state, and dead state is received or achieved using destroy method, and that ends the applet life cycle. So we have discussed what happens in init method, what is start, stop, destroy, and paint method. So we can re-execute or reinitiate from stop to start. But once it is destroyed, then again for further execution you will have to put a fresh request to get data from server. Advantage and drawback of applet. There are many advantages of applet. They are as follows: it works at client side, so less response time, and it is very fast. It comes from server and execute at client machine, so execution time is very less. And they are secure because it works in sandbox, and it will not try to access any file or memory location after sandbox. So it is safe application. It can be executed by browser running under many platforms, including Linux, Windows, Mac, OS, etc. So it is very safe and very efficient, and user can run any web application. Drawback of Applet: one disadvantage of Applet is that plugins are required at the client browser for executing applets. If plugins are not available at client machine, then Applet application will not run. So displaying graphics in Applet, you can see any graphical information using Applet, and there are various methods, like you can draw a string, you can draw rectangle, you can fill rectangle, you can draw oval, etc. There are various methods using that you can print or program graphical user interface. And graphics can also be displayed using fill oval, draw line, draw image, draw arc, etc. Some other methods are fill arc, set color. You can set font of, and see the applet program. So this program starts by importing two packages, like import java.applet.applet. So applet, capital Applet is a class, and Java is a main package, and applet is sub package. Similarly, for graphics, we have to import java.awt.graphics class. Now, at the presence of these two classes, we are creating hello world, and which is extending applet. So what we do here, we use paint method, in which we create graphics object. So what is small g here? Small g will work as graphics object, and g dot draw string will print hello world at the location 5025. So using paint method, we can draw a string hello world. And how we execute this program, and as the class name is hello world, so save this file as hello world.java, and open your command prompt and compile this program using javac command. And after the compilation of hello world.java file, class file will be created, and we need not to run it, and it will not run also, because this program does not contain main method, so simple execution is not possible. So what we do here, we write one HTML file, and in HTML file, in body tag, we add one tag applet code. Here we mention our hello world.class file, and we mention width as well as height, so that we can see output in HTML file, and we save this HTML file with HTML extension. So in nutshell, if we see, we have compiled hello world.java file, and after the compilation, we have created HTML file, and in HTML file we have given class file name as well as height and width. And to run your application or applet, what we do, we can open command prompt, then at command prompt we type applet viewer and index.html. In index.html there is link of class file, so it will open browser and we will see index.html. Now index.html will call applet from server, and it will execute at client machine. Similarly, in this program, we can draw a string, we can draw line, we can draw rectangle, fill rectangle, draw oval, We can set color, fill oval, draw arc, etc. We can also display any image in Applet. So this program we can take help. In this program, two packages we are importing. One is AWT package and second one is Applet sub package. And though it is an applet, so it extends applet class. And here we are using init method. In init method, we are creating one picture, and that picture comes using getImage method, and we access abc.jpg from computer, and we save it in picture object reference. So how do we print it? Again, to show it on the screen, we use paint method and create graphics object. And how do we show it? So to show it, we use g dot draw image, and where we mention object picture along with coordinate, and this is for showing current image object. And we can receive any parameter, we can contact with any HTML, we can get the network location of an applet class directory, we can print a status message in the browser, we can fetch an image, fetch an audio clip, play an audio clip, resize the applet. So passing parameter to applet is also possible. Here applet code we are mentioning class, and with that we use width and height, and whatever value we want to pass, we pass it in param name equal greeting, value equal hello friend, how are you. So what name we are giving to parameter, the name is greeting, and whatever value we want to pass to the parameter is mentioned here. So in this program we can see there is class file, and in init method we are mentioning message equal get parameter greeting. Now the greeting which is present in HTML will be received here, and if message is received properly, then hello message will be printed. So if we want to see, once we run any applet program, then a proper window comes and we can see the output of applet. So in using graphics method, we can draw any structure, we can fill it, and we can show any information. We can also process some mathematical calculation using program. In this program, we are adding two numbers and showing the result using paint method. And whatever result is coming, we can printing that with the help of drawstring. And obviously, once class file is created, then there is applet code where we will mention class file along with width and height, and we can show the output here. And interactive applets are also possible. We can get data at runtime. And if we want to pass some data at runtime, and then that is also possible. And this is very much important slide where security responses can be measured, and means it is very safe. If you are running any applet, then there is restrictions, and applet has to run in sandbox, and no applet can cross that boundary. So probability of damaging is very less when we are running applet, and it is a safe mechanism of executing web application using applet. So thanks a lot. So in this topic we have talked about simple applets. Applets are web application that are kept at a web server, but at the requirement web browser can access that application, and that applet comes to client machine and get executed, and we can show text, clip, image, or any relevant information without any hurdle, and it's a safe application, so probability of getting damage is very less in this case. Thanks a lot.